They brought that thing in on a truck. It was like Dayton Freight or something. They called me the day before and they said, we'll be there between 10 and 1. And, you know, is there a place that they can back this tractor trailer in? And I said, what? And then I said, do you have a lift gate or something to get it off the truck? And they were like, no. Okay. I hope your driver's, you know, pretty strong, but the box isn't that big. It'd probably just take 2 people to get it off. But I actually have not unpacked it because when I got home yesterday, I started watching election stuff. So I didn't even mess with it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Homestead HQ where we talk about homesteading and preparedness. I am Shelly.
And I'm Jason. Guys, glad to have y'all back. If we're trying to get back on our regular schedule, and hopefully we're doing a good job of that. Been a lot of stuff going on. We are recording this Wednesday night, the day after the election. We'll get more into that here in just a little bit. First thing, we want to thank VacMaster. It's VacMaster Fresh. They are one of the sponsors for this show. Go to VacMasterFresh.com. They've always got some pretty good sales going, and there's always a sale. If you use the coupon code Homestead, that will save you 15% off your order. Whatever you want to put in there, but go check those guys out. And Shelly's going to talk a little bit about VacMaster and the farm and what's going on her homestead. Mm-hmm. So that'll be there in just a minute. And then also we'll get everything out of the way. Signature Solar, it's signaturesolar.com. Go check those guys out. Use the code Homestead at checkout, and that's going to save you some money on some of your solar equipment. And honestly, they've got some of the best prices on solar equipment out there. I've been checking and looking around, and I'm going to order a few things as soon as everything loosens up just a little bit and I have time to do it. So, Shelly.
So the other, I know it's not really a sponsor, but another person or another product that I want to tell you all about. This is I actually found out about this at the spring festival, and I loved it so much that when they came back for the fall festival a couple weeks ago, I made sure that I went and bought some more. But if you all aren't familiar with Bose Tractor Works, right here's the little tub. It's called Bose Tractor Works. It's the Appalachian Hills 11. So Bo and I want to say, is it Ireland? I think that's like they go together to different festivals and stuff and sell their stuff. They're in Raccoon, Kentucky, and they have a website. Which is
close to Pikeville.
Is it Pikeville?
Yeah, you gotta say it right. It's Pikeville.
Pikeville.
Yes.
Sorry. So let me look this up real quick. So Bose Tractor Works, the Appalachian Hills 11 is a pain cream. And I'm trying to make sure that they've got what their website is because I want to get this right when I tell you all what it is.
Nobody can say that we're not prepared.
It's been a long, we had that crazy election happening. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, so their website is bostractorworks.com. That's BOS tractorworks.com. And you can order this stuff. So why would you want to order this? Appalachian Hills 11 is a CBD cream. It's made out of hemp. And let me just read the ingredients to you because they're all words that you can pronounce, which is a good thing, right? You've got coconut oil, CBD, it's decarboxylated CBD. I'm not sure what that means, but it has beeswax, turmeric root, ginger, cayenne pepper, menthol, and then another CBG, which is, I guess, from the CBD thing. Broadleaf plantain, eucalyptus oil, and peppermint oil. The stuff looks like this. Let me show you. Can you see it there? It's like a turmeric-y color. It's that kind of, I don't know, orange, brown, green looking color.
Like a booger.
I was thinking like baby poop, but yeah, no. Um, so if you have any kind of pain, like joint pain or arthritis, or every once in a while my knees will be hurting, um, you put this stuff on and the effect is immediate. Like no joke. It relieves pain immediately. I usually put this on my knees before I go to bed because I have my knees hurt. And you've got to rub it in really well, because if you don't, you'll have kind of that turmeric color. You'll get that. It'll be kind of yellow, but as long as you keep rubbing it in, it'll be fine. It goes away. So I've been using this since the spring festival. So that was the end of March. And I kind of drug out one of these tubs because I only bought one back in the spring. So I was using it very sparingly so I didn't run out. Even though, like I said, you can go to bowestractorworks.com and order this online. But when they came back to the festival in the fall, they were doing a prepper pack where you got like, because they sell these for $25 a jar, and it's so worth it. I mean, my daughter uses it for back pain on her lower back and all that kind of stuff. But they were selling a prepper pack at the festival where you could get 8 of these in a box for $150. So that equaled out to like $17 a jar if you wanted to do that. But I just wanted to let you all know about them because they come and support our festival. We love them. They're a great bunch of people, and they have an awesome product. You'll see them at festivals all over the place. And like I said, you can go and follow them on Facebook and go to bowestractorworks.com and order some pain cream for you. It's really, really, really good stuff. All right.
I was a little confused when I saw the Bose Tractor Works the first time when he signed up for the form. And I'm like, is this dude coming over selling tractor parts or what?
That's what I thought.
And I'm like, okay, hey, it's cool if you want to sell tractor parts, do you. But then I started looking, I was like, oh, okay. I was like,
he's selling hemp cream. Like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Totally not tractors, right?
He could have named it, Bo's Hooter Bandit Works or something.
Yeah, something like that. But go follow them on Facebook. Reach out to them. They're just awesome people. They're great to talk to. We really, really like them. We're really glad when they show up at the festival and support the festival, and we try to support our vendors and all of that. So go check them out.
Oh yeah. What have you got for news?
Are we going to talk about our homesteads?
Oh, I get it. It threw me off when you did the bow stuff.
I know.
Hell, I'm thrown off. All right. Tell us what you've got going.
So, I got a chamber sealer yesterday. So right now, I noticed on VacMaster's website, they're not showing that there's a special going on. So Jason, I don't know if you've gotten an email about it, but if you go to VacMasterFresh.com and sign up for their newsletter, you can get 10% off your first order. So with Jason's coupon code or checkout code, it's Homestead. You can use that when you check out. With his code, you'll get 15% off and then an additional 10% off if it's your first order. So that's 25% off a chamber sealer or whatever it is that you want to buy from them. But I'm super excited because my chamber sealer they brought that thing in on a truck. It was like Dayton Freight or something. They called me the day before and they said, we'll be there between 10 and 1. And, is there a place that they can back this tractor trailer in? And I said, what? And then I said, do you have a lift gate or something to get it off the truck? And they were like, no. Okay. I hope your driver's, pretty strong, but the box isn't that big. It'd probably just take 2 people to get it off. But I actually have not unpacked it because when I got home yesterday, I started watching election stuff. So I didn't even mess with it. And then today when I got home, I don't know. I haven't done anything with it. I need to open it up because I'm going over to Jason's this weekend and we're going to process some sheep, and I need to get some bags out of the box because it comes with bags. You get 3 different size bags and 20 of each one when you order one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring some bags over and use Jason's chamber sealer to once we process the sheep, because I'm taking one of our sheep over there to do that. But once we do that, I'll have some meat to bring home. So I'm really excited about the VacMaster.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll get some use out of mine for sure. But I mean that I've been kind of keeping up. We've got some stuff behind the scenes. I mean, I've just been doing normal day to day stuff, but I've been working a bunch behind the scenes on stuff with social media, stuff with the with KSL, the festival, all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of taking most of my free time. And today it pretty much rained all day long,
Yep.
And tomorrow they're calling for rain again. And all my jobs right now are outside, so I'm probably going to do more festival stuff, even though we just quit. We just had our festival, but hey, it's never too soon to start doing that. And then, like you said, I've got, well, when Mike and I tore down for the festival, and I'm looking out the shop window or the shop door, and I'm like, I've got to move all this stuff because we just threw everything.
Oh, is that all in your shop?
Yeah, we just threw everything in there. I was like, I don't want to touch this stuff. I was like, Mike, let's just put it by the front door and be done.
And so then what do you do? You call me and you're like, you want to process some sheep this weekend?
Yeah. It's like let's put some sheep in the freezer, and then I'm like, oh crap, right. I've gotta move all this stuff. So I'll get it moved out probably tomorrow while it's raining. The shop was pretty clean because we had everybody down here and had dinner at the shop. So the shop's fairly clean. It's just getting a few things done here and there, and that's the big plans for the weekend. Is we're going to process 2, probably 3 sheep and put them in the freezer. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready for some more leg of lamb, honestly, because it's that good.
I'm getting ready to get my butcher book out so I can look and see what cuts I want to keep.
We're just do leg of lamb and then cut all the lamb chops and grind the rest.
I don't know.
Hey,
we're going to look at the book and Randy's going to tell me what he wants me to bring home. So,
hey, I tell you, the lamb burgers are amazing.
I bet.
Oh, they're awesome. We cooked some lamb burgers a while back, and I was like, these things are good.
Those people at the Back to the Land Festival, they had like shredded lamb or mutton or whatever it's called, and that stuff was delicious. And Randy said, whatever needs to happen so we could make some of that shredded, that's what I want. Yeah. I said, okay, we'll figure out what cuts we need to do.
I mean, we could probably take the shoulders and do the shoulders where you could smoke. I wonder if they smoked them there at Back to the Land.
I think they fixed it and brought it in because when they got there, they were selling it. So It wasn't, I think they might have done it the day before or something. But that's what Randy said. He said, I figured it was like a shoulder or something like you have with pigs.
Yeah. I figure you could just do the shoulder and smoke the shoulder and then just shred it and do it that way.
Yeah. It was delicious.
I know when I've done the leg of lamb, I'll put salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder on it and just stick it in the oven and roast it on like a roasting rack. Do it that way, and then we just take and cut slices off of it. And I mean, it's amazing. I like it a bunch. So, all right, now we're back on track. What news do you have? Other than somebody killing some squirrel or some crap.
So yeah, I thought about that, but I thought, we what is that? Justice for what was that squirrel's name?
I don't know.
I can't think of what it was.
Oh, but wait! We got a classified ad. If anybody needs a used Komatsu dozer and some plate steel, I've got some for sale because the project got put off. If you know, you know. So
if you know, you know.
Contact me and we'll make you a good deal on that.
You're a goob. Okay. So if any of you all have listened to Bear Independent the last couple days, this might be a familiar story for you. I was like, I can't let this go. So a few weeks ago, we did the news of the day was the Israelis that were sending beepers, or somehow they intercepted the beepers that the terrorists were using, and they were blowing them up. So I don't know if Russia is taking a lead from that. using their playbook or whatever. But apparently, Poland intercepted a load that was being carried on a DHL plane, and they were explosives, but they weren't put in beepers. They were putting them in massage pillows and personal massage devices. And if you think that's what you think it is, that is what you think it is.
That's a whole new meaning to a Big Bang.
Right? So I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, what? So they found IEDs in vibrators for real. Like in this load of on a DHL plane, and the plane was headed for UK. And I don't know, it's all the reports that I've read say that it was supposed to be like a test run because they were going to try to send these to the United States or something. I and you laugh, but it's true. Like, it's true. Google it, okay? Google DHL explosives. You got to be careful what you Google, but DHL explosives, and you will find there's all kinds of articles about it. It's true. So, yeah, I mean, I can't even fathom like the dude that's sitting there putting a bomb in a vibrator. What? Like, I can't. I don't know. So that's the news of the day. That's what's happening in the world right now.
Instead of the big O, it's the big B.
Yeah.
There's so many ways we could go with it, but I don't want to go down that low.
Yeah, let's just jump into what we're talking about today.
I put you in charge of doing the news. Good night.
You don't think that's a good news story?
It's a great news story, but I just want to go, and I'm afraid some people might get offended if we really go that far with it.
They probably will.
But it's funny.
Let's just jump into what we're talking about today.
All right, guys, it is Wednesday, the day after the election. Our new Lord and Savior Trump has been elected as the next president.
Oh, don't even go there. Don't even. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe that everything that happens is, that's God's plan, or it wouldn't be happening. But He ain't our Lord and Savior.
Oh, I'm saying
He is only our president elect, and that's it.
I am saying that very tongue in cheek.
Yeah, so, I hope so.
Yes.
For anybody out there that thinks he's being serious, nope, he ain't.
No. I hope people would know me better than that. That I think one man is going to save us. But yes, it's day after the election. Some people are crying. Some people are celebrating. Some people are probably not tuned in and have no idea what's going on. But yeah,
some people are losing their ever-loving minds, dude.
Oh yeah, so some people are posting on TikTok. It's like, how do you go to work? How am I going to go to work tomorrow? And it's funny. These blue-collar guys are like, I'm going to wake up when my alarm goes off and put my work boots on and get my ass in the truck. That's how I'm going to work tomorrow.
Yep.
So, but yeah, Trump is our president-elect. Inauguration day is the 20th. So we've got, 75 days, something like that, 75, 74 days until he takes office again.
Something like that, yeah.
So, but yeah, actually last night I stayed up till about 10:30, and I was flipping back and forth. I was watching some YouTube videos on ham radio and kind of nerding out on some ham radio stuff. And then I'd flip over to Fox News every now and then and look, and I'm just like, man, they're not going to call this thing for a while. I was like, I'm going to bed. So I woke up. I don't know. I woke up at like 4 o'clock this morning and kind of got around and looked, grabbed my phone and looked, and I'm like, hey, it worked out. And I was like, was like, he's president-elect. I honestly thought that they were going to try to steal the crap out of it again, like they
I
did
thought
4
that was
years
going to
ago.
happen too. I mean, Randy kept telling me he was, because I mean, Randy works nights, so he was kind of watching it all night. And I said, "Were you worried that he wasn't going to win?" And he goes, "No, not really." And he's like, "Were you?" And I said, I wasn't really worried, but I said I totally expected them to try to steal it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I say steal it. I expected the shenanigans that happened back in 2019 when that election happened. I expected that to happen again. I was shocked when he took Pennsylvania.
Oh
And
yeah.
I didn't like I woke up at my dogs woke me up at 3:30 this morning. I woke up at midnight and I checked my phone and nothing had changed. So he was like at 195 or something like that. And then uh when I woke up at 3:30, I looked at it and it had gone up to like 277, and I saw that he took Pennsylvania, and I was like, cuz when all of it first started, um she was in the lead for Pennsylvania for a long time.
Yeah.
But it kept saying that there was only like, I don't know, 15% of the votes in or something like that. It wasn't a very big number. And so I was shocked when I saw that he took Pennsylvania. And then what was funny though, I was looking on the app on Fox News on my phone, and then I went to my browser on my phone and I just typed in CNN.com to see what they were reporting. And it was happening at the same time. They only had him down for, what was it, 262 or 258 or something like that, electoral votes. It was like, and I kept checking back and they wouldn't raise the number. It was like they were holding out thinking this can't be real. We're not going to report
Oh yeah.
that he took those states. And, and then there was a lot of, I don't know, like heads exploding. It seemed like there was some people that were kind of like, okay, this is what's happening, and then there were some people that was like, this is crazy. We can't believe this is happening, and they're losing their minds over it and all that stuff. But yeah.
Oh yeah, it was funny to watch some of the like CNN reporters and MSNBC reporters. They were just like, I saw one. They were dumbfounded. They didn't know what to say.
I
Like when the
know.
numbers came in, they're just kind of like, and I'm like, spit it out, Junior. Come on, say it. What you don't want to say.
Did you
So
see? Isn't Jake Tapper on CNN?
I think so.
I think he is. Did you see that thing where they had the map up, and he said, let's take a look at, I'm probably going to get this wrong, but he said, let's take a look at um how much better Harris is doing over what Biden did in the states that Biden took.
Yeah.
And so they've got the map up there, and it's supposed to, they type in those, metrics or whatever, and it's supposed to light up the states that she's doing better. And the map was blank. Like it just was the outline of the states, nothing lit up. And it was funny because there was like a block over to the side that looked like it was kind of a key or something. And the guy said, well, this block will move in a minute and we'll see, because that was kind of the East Coast, and the block disappeared and nothing was lit up. And then he goes, both of them, they said, literally nothing is lit up. Like,
Oh yeah.
like the looks on their faces. I was sitting there going, well, that kind of blew up in your face.
Oh yeah. And then another thing that's funny about this is that there were like almost around 20 million less votes cast this time
Really?
than the previous. So it kind of makes you scratch your head and be like, was the last election really stolen? What happened to these 20 million people? Because it's supposed to be like a record turnout. And of course, they say that every year it's going to be a record turnout. But what happened in 4 years that around 20 million less people voted?
Maybe there was a bunch of dead people that voted last time.
Maybe that, or they.
Because that really does happen. When I moved to Kentucky, that was happening in the town I lived in Kentucky, because I was like, people really do that stuff?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I wholeheartedly think that the last election was stolen. Just bottom line. There's nothing we can go back and do that. I mean,
I know.
but we can move forward, and that's kind of what we're at. We're not political analysts, and we're not going to sit here all night and look at all that. But the big takeaway, as far as me, and it wasn't a big takeaway. It doesn't matter who got elected. It's
Right.
just it doesn't matter who got elected. It's just you're going to have less suck if one person got elected than the other one. Bottom,
And historically, when we have a Republican that gets elected into office, what do preppers do?
they sell all their crap, and they don't keep on going. They just kind of
Right.
kick back in the recliner and be like, "Orange Man's going to save us. We don't
They're
need
like,
this."
"Oh, everything's cool now. We don't need to worry about it. We don't need to." That like homesteaders, you'll see, what is that? Joel Salatin says there's a homesteading tsunami
Yeah,
happening and all of that kind of stuff, and you'll see all these people buying homesteads and growing their own food and doing all that stuff, and then when the Republican gets into office, they're like, "Phew." And they sell their farms and
yeah,
get rid of all the livestock and all that kind of thing. And I'm like, why would you do that?
yeah,
What that doesn't make any sense to me.
yeah. And I mean it. No matter who got in, like I said, it's just how much suck you're going to have to embrace. So
Right.
if Harris would have won the presidency, we're going to have to embrace a whole lot of suck. Trump is going to be in office, we're going to have to embrace less suck. So one man or woman is not going to save this country. It's bottom line. It's going to come down to people like you and I, Shelly, people that listen to this podcast, people that listen on YouTube and are doing the stuff. It's going to take those people at a grassroots thing to fix this. Don't expect somebody in Washington. People in Washington could give a care less on us as an individual 99% of the time, in my opinion. That they could care less if we live or die, whatever goes on with us, but individuals care about individuals. And they just don't really care. And I don't care who's in office. They don't care but every 4 years when they're looking for your vote.
Right. Don't use this time. I mean, you're going to have, I feel like, we're going to have a little bit of a reprieve. But don't use this time to just sit back and be complacent and become a couch potato or whatever. Use this time. If the economy gets better and we have a little bit more money at the end of our paycheck instead of a more month at the end of our paycheck, if you have a little bit of spare money, use that to get your preps in order. Because it's not. I mean, who knows what's going to happen after the 4 years that Trump's in office? We have no idea. I mean, there it's. I think we all were in shock at the craziness that happened at the last election, but just don't get complacent. You've got to, you still have to plan for whatever could happen. And I told Randy I was looking at the maps when that showed, because I was really curious about Kentucky. Kentucky was one of the first states that reported, and which means that in Kentucky we know how to count, but so I was
We
looking to
take our
see.
shoes off, though.
All right, we got to take our shoes off. I was looking to see what areas were blue and red and all of that kind of stuff. And we actually had more red in the state of Kentucky than we did in the last election. But one of the states that I went and looked at was North Carolina, because I was curious to see how North Carolina voted after the hell that they have been through, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a couple blue counties on the coast, and then the county that Asheville is in. And that blows my mind. I do not understand how that whole region has been so completely devastated, no help from the federal government, and those people are still out there going, "I'm voting for her. I'm gonna
Yeah,
vote for her." And I mean, she did nothing. She didn't even show up. I,
yeah.
how I don't understand. I don't get it. So, and not to say that, I mean, Trump did show up. He did go there and talk to people and all that kind of stuff, but I still would not take a break from getting my stuff in order. I just even if the guy that you voted for is in office or getting ready to be in office, there's still so many variables. I mean, at the very least, a hurricane coming and blowing your crap away, right?
Yeah.
There's so many variables that can happen for you not to take this seriously. And the more dependent you are on the government, the bigger your problem's going to be.
Yeah. And I would say right now, well, right now, nothing has really changed with inflation, prices, and stuff like that. But hopefully, when Trump gets in office, prices are going to go down, the inflation will go down, stuff like that. Stuff will be a little bit easier to get. The time to, I think you need to go even harder right now because
Right.
it's the, and you can kind of relate it to the stock market. People kind of have a backward sense of the stock market. It's like, oh my gosh, the stock market's going up. We need to get in on this. With the stock market, you sell high and buy low. But a lot of people flip it around. They're buying when it's going up and stuff. It's like right now, if you keep buying all this stuff, you're spending a lot more money and you're not getting as much bang for your buck. So wait and take these 4 years when prices go down and double down on your preparedness stuff. I mean, if the prices go
Exactly.
down, you can buy a lot more stuff. And people do the opposite. They're buying when the Democrats are in, when it's expensive or hard to get. And then when
Yeah.
the Republican come in, they're like, oh man, I'm just going to kick back in the easy chair. And it's like, you need to push harder now when stuff is easier to get and cheaper. I mean,
Yep.
I'm going to double down. I mean, I'll double down on my preparedness stuff. And we've been making plans. I mean, that's one of the things I've been looking at. We've been making plans on how to do bulk purchases of supplies and stuff like that. So that's some of the stuff I'm working on. And hopefully after he takes office, some of these suppliers that we've been talking to, the prices are going to get lower. We'll just be able to purchase more stuff that way. And honestly, I'm looking forward to it. So I was kicking something underneath my desk. I had to see what it was. So, but yeah, guys, that's the big thing. Keep trucking. Don't kick back on stuff. It's not going to be an easy road. Uh, and I don't even know, even after 4 years of having Trump in, what will happen after that, and whether this country can be saved, because you've still got pretty much half the country voting and thinking the opposite way.
Well, and we still live in a country that is trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars in debt.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I do feel like that, Trump being a businessman, I do feel like that hopefully he'll make some good decisions as far as that goes. But I don't I feel like whoever it wouldn't matter if it was him, it doesn't matter who it is, they're moving into an office that is just a complete shit show right now.
oh yeah,
So there's a lot of stuff to fix. Not
yeah,
saying that he can't do it, but and the fact that we have like a majority red Senate and a majority red House, they should be able to get some stuff done, right?
in theory.
In theory, exactly. That's the whole thing that infuriates me about this. I mean, right now it's lined up perfect, but if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it when he was elected in 2016, wasn't it lined up the same way?
I think so.
And then in 2 years, like the Senate flipped or one of them flipped, and then
Well,
one of them was more Democrat. I I don't understand. He even still had opposition when he had a Republican Senate and a Republican House, and it's still he still had problems getting stuff done.
well,
I I don't know. You still need to be prepping. You still need to be getting your own stuff in order. Um, getting your debt paid down, paying your house off. And I'm talking to me just as much as I'm talking to y'all. We need to be getting if this is a reprieve that our dollar will be worth a little bit more, praying for that and all that kind of thing. If that does happen, use it to your advantage and get your house in order.
Yeah, double down on what you're doing. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we're going to start doing even more and more. I've never really quit. As far as the preparedness stuff and everything, it's slowed up a little bit because some of the stuff's just stupid expensive. But I mean, and then you've also got to look at what's because we've got 74, 75 days, something like that before he's
Yeah.
actually inaugurated. Still, the Biden Harris administration is still in office. There's a lot they can do to really tank us in between now and then. And
They could
I mean,
send all kinds of our tax dollars over to Ukraine again,
yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I guarantee they're going to try to send as much money as they can to Ukraine and Israel, and then also think about it too. They're still in office, so they could still go ahead and start World War III if they wanted to. And then what happens with that? I don't personally know what will happen with that if they start kicking off like a real kinetic war going on.
I kind of don't think that we should speak that into the atmosphere, Jason.
Well, that shit's already out in the atmosphere. So I'm not the only one that's talking about it.
I know.
So, and then also, I mean, you look at it too. Everybody was kind of freaking out. It's like I'm not going to go anywhere election night or anything like that because I think just the shit's going to hit the fan on that, and there're going to be riots and everything like that. I personally thought there might be a little bit, but not a whole big mess of stuff. I think if they're going to do something, it's going to be a week or two before they do anything. So everybody's kind of like, she conceded to the election and this and that, and everything's fine. I still think everybody needs to keep their head on a swivel, and they've imported all these fighting age males, let them come across the border. There's all these terror cells that are already in the United States and have been here for years. Don't think that might not be their fail safe or their dead man switch. They could call those guys up, and these terror cells could be activated, and then heck, I mean, it's hell on wheels then. I mean, heck, one guy with a gun running around a city shooting people can cause a heck of a catastrophe right there on its own.
Yeah.
Much less 4 or 5 guys with guns running around one city.
Well, and she, in her speech, her concession speech, she even told all of them how much they still needed to fight.
Yeah.
So, and when I was listening to it, I was sitting there thinking, if that was Trump saying that, they would have said that he was inciting violence.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, everybody thinks he's Hitler, so
I know.
Yeah. And then, I mean, but yeah, I mean, there's still, just because he's president elect, there's still, till January 20th before he gets inaugurated. So we've still got some time that they could throw a gauntlet down and do some dumb shit to hurt the American people.
We need to be praying for him because, I mean, it's not outside of the realm of possibility that they would do something to him. They've tried. I mean, they 3 times. They're saying twice, but they tried 3 times. The last one was stopped before it got started. So, we need to be praying that. And I don't understand it, but there's a lot of people that are every time they talk about JD Vance being, like if something happened to Trump and JD Vance becoming president, they're like scared of him, and I don't understand why. I don't know if it's because he's young. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's a lot of people that get torqued up about him. So that may be the only thing that keeps Trump from, something happening to him, is that they don't want JD Vance. So I don't know.
Heck, you never know. But yeah, I mean, bottom line, go harder, keep going, don't kick back. Don't think that one person in Washington, D.C. is going to save you. The person...
Ain't nobody in Washington, D.C. going to save you.
Yeah. I mean, the person that's most likely to help you lives within a few miles of you.
Yep.
Is my opinion. That
it's growing, in your own community.
Yeah. Keep growing your community, your mag, your group. Keep doing that stuff. Find out, talk to your neighbor, build that trust, find some friends and stuff like that. I mean, Shelly and I never quit doing this. We're always wanting to find new people to to be in our community and stuff like that. So, guys, now is the time. We've got to, hopefully, if everything works, we've got a 4-year reprieve on this, and we can just be that much more prepared coming in the next 4 years, because we don't know what's going to come down the road after this. So that's kind of my soapbox. I want to kick it out from underneath myself, because I've probably said everything I need to say for the night that won't get me in trouble. So
yeah, we don't want to get kicked off YouTube.
Yeah. Shelly, do you have any other good words of advice?
You just have to remember ultimately who's in control of all this. It's not the Democrats or the Republicans. It's not any, God has all of this. And just, you don't have to, and I've been seeing this a lot on social media too. I've been seeing a lot of people that are on my social media that, didn't vote for him, that are losing their mind a little bit about, Harris did a really good job of convincing people that he's going to take all of the women's rights away. I don't even understand this. I don't get, it makes no sense to me. He's not going to do that. Calm down. Go read do your own research. Don't listen to that. It's because it's just not true. Trump doesn't care who you're married to, who you're having sex with. He probably doesn't even care if you get an abortion. I probably care more about that than he does. I'm sure, he has said that he's not for it, but if you do that, it's not like he's going to come knocking on your door or something. It's whatever. But just sit back and relax, take a breath. The economy is going to get better. Things are going to get better. You don't have to stress out. And just because somebody votes differently than you don't have to hate them. You really don't. It's not in a couple weeks, it's going to be over. It just doesn't have to be that way.
In a couple weeks, it'll either be over or bricks will be flying.
Trying to calm people down, Jason. You're not helping. Do you remember the last inauguration, and those women were walking around wearing hats with vaginas? They were vagina hats. Yeah. Like, I don't want to see that stuff. I don't I don't want to see that stuff. Just let the dude do the job. Yeah. It's not even like he's going to be there forever. Just let him do the job.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
One of the things, totally changing gears here, but our last podcast that we did, we talked about the festival, and it was kind of a wrap up of the festival.
Yeah.
But you had asked if anybody had any ideas for the kind of speakers that they would, or the topics that they would like to learn about, or something like that. My friend Karen that came to the festival, she came to the dinner that night too. She's from Pennsylvania. Way to go, Karen, with the votes. She commented on the video and said she would like to learn how to financially structure and protect a homestead with multiple streams of income, using multiple LLCs, etc., while staying legit. She said she doesn't want to wander into a Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad territory.
What's wrong with that? If you're
it's
not
okay to do that as long as you're like really good at laundering it or something, right? I don't know. I'm not speaking from experience. Yes. I have no idea.
I know nothing about laundering money.
But that would be a good topic to have at the next festival. Like multiple streams of income, which it's always good to have multiple streams of income. But having somebody come and talk about that, I like the idea of that topic.
So we kind of need like a financial tax advisor and a mob boss.
No. No.
Okay. Just a mob boss then.
No.
Okay. All right. I don't know.
But we'll look into it, Karen. We'll see what we can find, because I love that idea and I would love to learn some stuff like that too. Just and sometimes we just need ideas, right?
Yeah. Or you could do like what the Clintons do and just start up like the Clinton Foundation and rob money from people.
Why you got to go there? Why you got to go there?
I'm just saying. That's what all the people do.
No, we're not. We don't condone criminal activity on this podcast. We're not going there. We're not encouraging y'all to no.
Just saying.
Speaking of criminal activity, I think they voted to legalize pot in my county.
Really?
I think they did. Didn't Bashir sign some kind of bill or something last year or this year about marijuana and hemp and all of that kind of stuff?
I don't know. I do know they voted down the Amendment 2 about the schools.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is kind of crappy.
Let's see if I can find this story. Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can find this. Talk about something else while I look for this.
They did vote down Amendment 2, which was the schools, essentially money for private schools. And the thing is, a lot of people misunderstood it. It wasn't going to automatically do that. It was just going to make it to where the legislator could explore those options. But it got struck down pretty hard. And then Amendment 1, or the First Amendment or whatever we were voted on in Kentucky, they worded that, and they purposely do this stuff to word it weird where you don't know whether to vote yes or no.
They did do that. That kind of made me mad. I saw that.
Yeah, and essentially amendment, the first thing we were voting on was essentially whether you wanted illegal people to vote or not in elections. And it's like, who in their right mind would want illegal people to vote in elections if they're not citizens? But they couldn't word it. Do you want non-citizens to vote, yes or no? It's like, do you want non-citizens? And then they put like, I forgot what they put. They worded it weird and put like stupid people or something. And I'm like, they really put stupid people in here? And I'm like, what the hell? So I was just like, I don't know which way to vote on it. But it passed to where supposedly we're not going to have non-citizens or illegal aliens voting in elections, which that should be a given anyway.
Right.
So
the thing that I'm talking about, it says in the 2024 election, voters in 15 South Central Kentucky counties and cities were tasked with deciding whether or not to allow medicinal cannabis businesses to operate in their areas. The question was met with a resounding yes. So in the spring of 2023, Governor Andy Bashir signed Senate Bill 47, which legalized medicinal cannabis in the Commonwealth starting on January 1st, 2025. It was then left up to local governments to opt in or out of the program. In South Central Kentucky, the question appeared on the ballots of Butler, Edmonson, Grayson, Hart, Logan, Metcalfe, Monroe, and Muhlenberg counties. Cities within these counties were also faced with a decision, include Adairville, Auburn, Burkesville, Greensburg, Horse Cave, and Munfordville. All 15 areas voted to participate in the program. So, it says other local governments had previously made decisions on the measure. Warren County opted into the program while Allen County opted out. So what that sounds like to me is that in the beginning of January 2025, there's going to be cannabis dispensaries in my county, in your county. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Am I reading this wrong?
I guess we need to get on the wagon and get the first one in Metcalfe County. We can make some coin on that. We could be Cheech and Chong Metcalfe County style.
I'm actually kind of shocked that this passed.
Well, you knew they were going to do it in Warren County. That's just a given.
Well, and when Randy and I voted, we both voted yes for it. Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, the reason that I voted yes, I mean, I'm not, what does Billy call them, Hooter bandits? Yeah. I wouldn't say that I qualify as a Hooter bandit, but the reason that I voted yes for it was all of the reading and stuff that I've done, and now having met Callie Blackwell and talked to her about, how she saved her kid's life and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, why? I don't know. I guess it's because I'm getting more into herbal medicine and stuff like that, and understanding how that works and helps your body. And yeah, I think that people should be able to have access to it that need access to it.
Oh yeah, I
I
agree
mean,
with you.
that's just how I feel about it now. And honestly, 10 years ago, I probably wouldn't have voted that way. But I didn't know 10 years ago what I know now about it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah.
And that's one of the things that RFK is even pushing, along with raw milk and, all of those things that um, the government has demonized, that whatever, because, big pharma wants you to remain sick for your whole life.
Hey, we'll be set. We'll have weed and raw milk. We won't need nothing else.
We won't need nothing else, right?
Yeah.
Weed and raw milk.
All right. I think we've chased down a couple rabbit holes and beat the election to death, and it's about time for dinner, honestly. So
It's about time for me to go to bed. I was up late last night and I got to get up early. So,
yeah. And it's coming a thunderstorm here. It just started back
and
up.
this time change thing, oh my God. Like I get home when I roll in 30 minutes after I get off work, and 30 minutes after that, it's dark.
Oh
Time to
yeah.
put chickens up.
Yeah. Well, shoot, it was last night. It was like 6:30, and I was like, well, I guess it's almost time for bed. And I looked at my watch, and I'm like, it's freaking 6:30. I was like, and typically, I don't go to bed till like 11 or 12 o'clock. I was like, I got another 6 hours to stay up. I'm like, this is weird.
That was
So
one of the things at the festival when we had that panel going with
yeah,
Chronically Healthy, and then Callie and Leslie. That was one of the things that they all said. They were like, your body will tell you when it's time to get up. Your body will tell you when it's time to go to bed. And it's like your body is telling you it's time to go to bed because the sun went down. I mean,
yeah,
they were talking about how that triggers things in your brain, and that's why you shouldn't eat in the dark, because that shuts down stuff. And I
yeah,
mean, it all makes sense when it gets explained, but your body's saying, hey, it's time to go to bed. It's nighttime outside.
yeah. But shoot, I mean, if I would have went to bed last night at that time, I'd have been up at 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, okay, let's make some coffee and do this thing today. So everybody else in the house would have been mad as all get out.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, guys, we appreciate it, and we will be back next week to have another awesome podcast, and no telling what kind of rabbit holes we'll jump down. And also remember, if you're going to get some massage items, make sure they didn't come from Poland this time.
No, Russia.
Russia. Just
Don't buy
sure.
any made in Russia anything. It
Yes.
might blow up and make you have a bad day.
Make you might have. We're not going to go there. All right, guys. Y'all have a good weekend, and we will see y'all next week. Goodbye.
Bye.